Hello, my loves. It's me, your girl, Empress Goddess, your host with the most, the gorgeous goat herself. Let's get in here with religious magic and esoteric symbolism.
This evening we are going to try to draw together many of the threads and elements of religious ritualism as these converge in the early religious rite of Christianity. First of all, there's a broad point which we have to more or less consider, and that is the magical or metaphysical element in the celebration of religious rites. Such an element has always been assumed to exist, and to a very great degree, religion as religious ceremony has developed around this central core of a mystical or magical transformation of substances, materials, and conditions by religious means. I think we have to go back a long way to find the very beginnings of this religious magic. I know, for example, in southwest United States, the Kachina dancers of the Navajo and Hopi people have a ritual that in a strange way summarizes the entire mystery of religious magic. In their various rites and ceremonies, most of the Kachina dancers are masked. The masks are very simple, homemade productions, as you might imagine, usually fashioned from the skin of animals, painted, adorned with fur, feathers, and even various vegetable and plant structures. In the ritual of these people, the mask must be painted behind the back of the artist. He must not see it until it is finished. This, of course, accounts for a certain crudeness, but at the same time, it is amazing how well the designs can be perfected even in this way. Once the mask has been completed, the artist, who is in all probability is also going to be the wearer, may look upon it safely. If he looks upon it before it is finished, he will be stricken blind, according to the belief of his people. After the mask is finished, he must wear it only at the most sacred ceremonies. He is not permitted to put it on except during the ritual itself. He cannot pose with it for a picture or anything of that nature. It must never be on his head except in the actual ceremony. Actually, also, according to his belief, when he wears this mask as part of an elaborate ritual, he is no longer himself. In the process of putting on the sanctified mask made under magical situations, he is inwardly and internally transformed into the deity which the mask represents. His friends and neighbors may recognize him even with the mask, but they must give no indication of this, because while he wears the mask, he is not himself. He is the God. The power of the mask is also expressed to the people. These people are perfectly well aware that the dancers that come out of the dust storms on the old mesas are not really, physically, gods. Yet they are welcome.
Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Behrend. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.
Kybalion, a study of the Hermetic philosophy of ancient Egypt and Greece, by 3 initiates. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. Originally published by the Yogi Publication Society, Masonic Temple, Chicago, Illinois, copyright 1908. This recording is a production of the Master Key Society. Copyright 2021, Master Key Society. To Hermes Trismegistus, known by the ancient Egyptians as the Great Great and Master of Masters, this little volume of Hermetic teachings is reverently dedicated. Introduction. We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrines this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings. There has been so little written upon this subject, notwithstanding the countless references to the teachings in the many works upon occultism, that the many earnest searchers after the arcane truths will doubtless welcome the appearance of the present volume. The purpose of this work is not the enunciation of any special philosophy or doctrine, but rather is to give to the students a statement of the truth that will serve to reconcile the many bits of occult knowledge that they may have acquired, but which are apparently opposed to each other, and which often serve to discourage and disgust the beginner in the study. Our intent is not to erect a new temple of knowledge, but rather to place in the hands of the student a master key with which he may open the many inner doors in the temple of mystery through the main portals he has already entered. There is no portion of the occult teachings possessed by the world which have been so closely guarded as the fragments of the Hermetic teachings which have come down to us over the tens of centuries which have elapsed since the lifetime of its great founder, Hermes Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods, who dwelt in old Egypt in the days when the present race of men was in its infancy. Contemporary with Abraham, and, if the legends be true, an instructor of that venerable sage, Hermes was, and is, the great central sun of occultism, whose rays have served to illumine the countless teachings which have been promulgated since his time. All the fundamental and basic teachings embedded in the esoteric teachings of every race may be traced back to Hermes. Even the most ancient teachings of India undoubtedly have their roots in the original Hermetic teachings. From the land of the Ganges, many advanced occultists wandered to the land of Egypt and sat at the feet of the master. From him they obtained the master key, which explained and reconciled their divergent views, and thus the secret doctrine was firmly established. From other lands also came the learned ones, all of whom regarded Hermes as the master of masters, and his influence was so great that in spite of the many wanderings from the path on the part of the centuries of teachers in these different lands, there may still be found a certain basic resemblance and correspondence which underlies the many and often quite divergent theories entertained and taught by the occultists of these different lands today. The student of comparative religions will be able to perceive the influence of the Hermetic teachings in every religion worthy of the name, now known to man, whether it be a dead religion or one in full vigor in our own times. There is always a certain correspondence in spite of the contradictory features, and the Hermetic teachings act as the great reconciler. The life work of Hermes seems to have been in the direction of planting the great seed truth, which has grown and blossomed in so many strange forms, rather than to establish a school of philosophy which would dominate the world's thought. But nevertheless, the original truths taught by him have been kept intact in their original purity by a few men in each age, who, refusing great numbers of half-developed students and followers, followed the Hermetic custom and reserved their truth for the few who were ready to comprehend and master it. From lip to ear, the truth has been handed down among the few. There have always been a few initiates in each generation in the various lands of the earth who kept alive the sacred flame of the Hermetic teachings, and such have always been willing to use their lamps to relight the lesser lamps of the outside world when the light of truth grew dim and clouded by reason of neglect, and when the wicks became clogged with foreign matter. There were always a few to tend faithfully the altar of the truth, upon which was kept alight the perpetual lamp of wisdom. These men devoted their lives to the labor of love, which the poet has so well stated in his lines. Oh, let not the flame die out, cherished age after age in its dark cavern, in its holy temples cherished. Fed by pure ministers of love, let not the flame die out. These men have never sought popular approval, nor numbers of followers. They are indifferent to these things, for they know how few there are in each generation who are ready for the truth, or who would recognize it if it were presented to them. They reserve the strong meat for men, while others furnish the milk for babes. They reserve their pearls of wisdom for the few elect who recognize their value and who wear them in their crowns instead of casting them before the materialistic, vulgar swine who would trample them in the mud and mix them with their disgusting mental food. But still, these men have never forgotten or overlooked the original teachings of Hermes regarding the passing on of the words of truth to those ready to receive it, which teaching is stated in the Kybalion as follows. Where fall the footsteps of the master, the ears of those ready for his teaching open wide. And again, when the ears of the student are ready to hear, then cometh the lips to fill them with wisdom. But their customary attitude has always been strictly in accordance with the other Hermetic aphorism, also in the Kybalion. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. There are those who have criticized this attitude of the Hermetists, and who have claimed that they did not manifest the proper spirit in their policy of seclusion and reticence. But a moment's glance back over the pages of history will show the wisdom of the masters who knew the folly of attempting to teach to the world that which it was neither ready or willing to receive. The Hermetists have never sought to be martyrs, and have instead sat silently aside with a pitying smile on their closed lips, while the heathen raged noisily about them in their customary amusement of putting to death and torture the honest but misguided enthusiasts who imagined that they could force upon a race of barbarians the truth capable of being understood only by the elect who had advanced along the path. And the spirit of persecution has not as yet died out in the land. There are certain Hermetic teachings which, if publicly promulgated, would bring down upon the teachers a great cry of scorn and revilement from the multitude, who would again raise the cry of crucify, crucify. In this little work, we have endeavored to give you an idea of the fundamental teachings of the Kybalion, striving to give you the working principles, leaving you to apply them yourselves, rather than attempting to work out the teaching in detail. If you are a true student, you will be able to work out and apply these principles. If not, then you must develop yourself into one, for otherwise the Hermetic teachings will be as words, words, words to you. The Three Initiates. Chapter 1. The Hermetic Philosophy. The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. The Kybalion. From old Egypt have come the fundamental esoteric and occult teachings which have so strongly influenced the philosophies of all races, nations, and peoples for several thousand years. Egypt, the home of the pyramids and the Sphinx, was the birthplace of the hidden wisdom and mystic teachings. From her secret doctrine, all nations have borrowed. India, Persia, Chaldea, Media, China, Japan, Assyria, ancient Greece and Rome, and other ancient countries partook liberally at the feast of knowledge which the hierophants and masters of the land of Isis so freely provided for those who came prepared to partake of the great store of mystic and occult lore which the masterminds of that ancient land had gathered together. In ancient Egypt dwelt the great adepts and masters who have never been surpassed, and who seldom have been equaled during the centuries that have taken their processional flight since the days of the great Hermes. In Egypt was located the great lodge of lodges of the mystics. At the doors of her temples entered the neophytes, who afterward, as hierophants, adepts, and masters, traveled to the four corners of the earth, carrying with them the precious knowledge which they were ready, anxious, and willing to pass on to those who were ready to receive the same. All students of the occult recognize the debt that they owe to these venerable masters of that ancient land. But among these great masters of ancient Egypt, there once dwelt one of whom masters hailed as the master of masters. This man, if man indeed he was, dwelt in Egypt in the earliest days. He was known as Hermes Trismegistus. He was the father of the occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, the discoverer of alchemy. The details of his life story are lost to history owing to the lapse of the years, though several of the ancient countries disputed with each other in their claims to the honor of having furnished his birthplace, and this thousands of years ago. The date of his sojourn in Egypt, in that his last incarnation on this planet, is not now known, but it has been fixed at the early days of the oldest dynasties of Egypt, long before the days of Moses. The best authorities regard him as a contemporary of Abraham, and some of the Jewish traditions go so far as to claim that Abraham acquired a portion of his mystic knowledge from Hermes himself. As the years rolled by after his passing from this plane of life, tradition recording that he lived 300 years in the flesh, the Egyptians deified Hermes and made him one of their gods under the name of Thoth. Years after, the people of ancient Greece also made him one of their many gods, calling him Hermes, the god of wisdom. The Egyptians revered his memory for many centuries, yes, tens of centuries, calling him the scribe of the gods, and bestowing upon him distinctively his ancient title Trismegistus, which means the thrice great, the great great, the greatest great, etc. In all the ancient lands, the name of Hermes Trismegistus was revered, the name being synonymous with the fount of wisdom. Even to this day, we use the term hermetic in the sense of secret, sealed so that nothing can escape, etc., and this by reason of the fact that the followers of Hermes always observed the principle of secrecy in their teachings. They did not believe in casting pearls before swine, but rather held to the teaching milk for babes, meat for strong men, both of which maxims are familiar to readers of the Christian scriptures, but both of which had been used by the Egyptians for centuries before the Christian era. And this policy of careful dissemination of the truth has always characterized the Hermetics even unto the present day.
The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. Translation and interpretation by Doriel. Introduction to the original work by Doriel. In the following pages, I will reveal some of the mysteries which as yet have only been touched upon lightly either by myself or other teachers or students of truth. Man's search for understanding of the laws which regulate his life has been unending, yet always just beyond the veil which shields the higher planes from material man's vision, the truth has existed, ready to be assimilated by those who enlarge their vision by turning inward, not outward, in their search. In the silence of material senses lies the key to the unveiling of wisdom. He who talks does not know. He who knows does not talk. The highest knowledge is unutterable, for it exists as an entity in lanes which transcend all material words or symbols. All symbols are but keys to doors leading to truths, and many times the door is not opened because the key seems so great that the things which are beyond it are not visible. If we can understand that all keys, all material symbols are manifestations, are but extensions of a great law and truth, we will begin to develop the vision which will enable us to penetrate beyond the veil. All things, in all universes, move according to law, and the law which regulates the movement of the planets is no more immutable than the law which regulates the material expressions of man. One of the greatest of all cosmic laws is that which is responsible for the formation of man as a material being. The great aim of the mystery schools of all ages has been to reveal the workings of the law which connect man, the material, and man, the spiritual. The connecting link between the material man and spiritual man is the intellectual man, for the mind partakes of both the material and immaterial qualities. The aspirant for higher knowledge must develop the intellectual side of his nature, and so strengthen his will that is able to concentrate all powers of his being on and in the plane he desires. The great search for light, life, and love only begins on the material plane. Carried to its ultimate, its final goal is complete oneness with the universal consciousness. The foundation in the material is the first step. Then comes the higher goal of spiritual attainment. In the following pages, I will give an interpretation of the Emerald Tablets and their secret, hidden and esoteric meanings. Concealed in the words of Thoth are many meanings that do not appear on the surface. Light of knowledge brought to bear upon the tablets will open many new fields for thought. Read and be wise, but only if the light of your own consciousness awakens the deep-seated understanding, which is an inherent quality of the soul. In the threefold light, Doriel. Preface to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. The history of the tablets translated in the following pages is strange and beyond the belief of modern scientists. Their antiquity is stupendous, dating back some 36,000 years BC. The writer is Thoth, an Atlantean priest king, who founded a colony in ancient Egypt after the sinking of the mother country. He was the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza, erroneously attributed to Cheops. See The Great Pyramid by Doriel. In it, he incorporated his knowledge of the ancient wisdom and also securely secreted records and instruments of ancient. Emerald Tablet 1, The History of Thoth, the Atlantean. I, Thoth the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amenti, sit down for the guidance of those that are to come after, these records of the mighty wisdom of great Atlantis. In the great city of Kior, on the island of Undal, in a time far past, I began this incarnation. Not as the little men of the present age did the mighty ones of Atlantis live and die, but rather from aeon to aeon did they renew their life in the halls of Amenti, where the river of life flows eternally onward. 100 times 10 I have descended the dark way that led into the light, and as many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. Now for a time I descend, and the men of Chem shall know me no more. But in a time yet unborn I will rise again, mighty and potent, requiring an accounting of those left behind me. Then beware, O men of Chem, if ye have falsely betrayed my teaching, for I shall cast ye down from your high estate into the darkness of the caves from whence ye came. Betray not my secrets to the men of the north, or the men of the south, lest my curse fall upon ye. Remember and heed my words, for surely will I return again and require of thee that which ye guard. I, even from beyond time and from beyond death, will I return, rewarding or punishing as ye have requited your trust. Great were my people in the ancient days, great beyond the conception of the little people now around me. Knowing the wisdom of old, seeking far within the heart of infinity knowledge that belonged to earth's youth. Wise were we with the wisdom of the children of light who dwelt among us. Strong were we with the power drawn from the eternal fire. And of all these, greatest among the children of men was my father, Thothme, keeper of the great temple, link between the children of light who dwelt within the temple and the races of men who inhabited the 10 islands. Mouthpiece, after the 3, of the dweller of Unal, speaking to the kings with the voice that must be obeyed. Grew I there from a child into manhood, being taught by my father the elder mysteries, until in time there grew within the fire of wisdom, until it burst into a consuming flame. Naught desired I but the attainment of wisdom, until on a great day the command came from the dweller of the temple that I be brought before him. Few there were among the children of men who had looked upon that mighty face and lived, for not as the sons of men are the children of light when they are not incarnate in a physical body. Chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller so that his purposes might be fulfilled, purposes yet unborn in the womb of time. Long ages I dwelt in the temple, learning ever and yet ever more wisdom, until I, too, approached the light emitted from the great fire. Taught me he, the path to Amenti, the underworld where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Deep I bowed in homage before the lords of life and the lords of death, receiving as my gift the key of life. Free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed until space and time became as naught. Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and there found I greater mysteries and was glad. For only in the search for truth could my soul be stilled, and the flame within be quenched. Down through the ages I lived, seeing those around me taste the cup of death and return again in the light of life. Gradually, from the kingdoms of Atlantis, passed waves of consciousness that had been one with me, only to be replaced by spawn of a lower star. In obedience to the law, the word of the master grew into flower. Downward into darkness turned the thoughts of the Atlanteans, until at last in his wrath arose from his Aguanti, the dweller. This word has no English equivalent. It means a state of detachment. Speaking the word, calling the power, deep in the earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard, and hearing, directed the changing of the flower of fire that burns eternally, changing and shifting, using the Logos, until that great fire changed its direction. Over the world then broke the great waters, drowning and sinking, changing Earth's balance until only the Temple of Light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, still rising out of the water. Some there were who were living, saved from the rush of the fountains. Called to me then the Master, saying, Gather ye together my people, take them by the arts ye have learned afar across the waters, until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians, dwelling in caves of the desert. Follow there the plan that ye know of. Gathered I then my people, and entered the great ship of the Master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the temple. Suddenly, over it rose the waters, vanished from earth until the time appointed was the great temple. Fast we fled toward the sun of the morning, until beneath us lay the land of the children of Chem. Raging, they came with cudgels and spears, lifted in anger, seeking to slay and utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. Then raised I my staff, and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. Then spoke I to them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying we were children of the sun and its messengers. Cowed I them by my display of magic science, until at my feet they groveled when I released them. Long dwelt we in the land of Chem, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the Master, who, while sleeping, yet lives eternally, I sent from me the sons of Atlantis, sent them in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Long time dwelt I in the land of Chem, doing great works by the wisdom within me. Upward grew into the light of knowledge the children of Chem, watered by the rains of my wisdom. Blasted I then a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Chem, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards in soul force. Now for a time, I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, deep in the halls of the earth, before the lords of the powers, face to face once again with the dweller. Raised I high over the entrance, a doorway, a gateway leading down to Amenti. Few there would be with courage to dare it. Few passed the portal to dark Amenti. Raised over the passage, I, a mighty pyramid, using the power that overcomes earth force, gravity. Deep and yet deeper, placed I a force house or chamber. From it carved I a circular passage reaching almost to the great summit. There in the apex set I the crystal, sending the ray into the time-space, drawing the force from out of the ether, concentrating upon the gateway to Amenti. See the Great Pyramid by Doriel. Other chambers I built and left vacant to all seeming, yet hidden within them are the keys to Amenti. He who in courage would dare the dark realms, let him be purified first by long fasting. Lie in the sarcophagus of stone in my chamber, then to reveal I to him the great mysteries. Soon shall he follow to where I shall meet him, even in the darkness of earth shall I meet him. I, Thoth, Lord of wisdom, meet him and hold him and dwell with him always. Built I the great pyramid, patterned after the pyramid of earth force, burning eternally so that it too might retain through the ages. In it I built my knowledge of magic science so that it might be here when again I return from Amenti. I, while I sleep in the halls of Amenti, my soul roaming free will incarnate, dwell among men in this form or another. Hermes, thrice born. Emissary on earth am I of the dweller, fulfilling his commands so man might be lifted. Now return I to the halls of Amenti, leaving behind me some of my wisdom. Preserve ye and keep ye the command of the dweller. Lift ever upwards your eyes to the light. Surely, in time, ye are one with the Master. Surely, by right, ye are one with the Master. Surely, by right, ye are one with the All. Now I depart from ye. Know my commandments, keep them and be them, and I will be with you, helping and guiding you into the light. Now before me opens the portal, go I down into the darkness of night. Emerald Tablet 2, The Halls of Amenti. Deep in the earth's heart lie the halls of Amenti, far beneath the islands of sunken Atlantis, halls of the dead and halls of the living, bathed in the fire of the infinite All. Far in a past time, lost in the space-time, the children of light look down on the world. See the children of men in their bondage, bound by the force that came from beyond. Knew they that only by freedom from bondage could man ever rise from the earth to the sun. Down they descended and created bodies, taking the semblance of men as their own. The masters of everything said after their forming, we are they who were formed from the space dust, partaking of life from the infinite All, living in the world as children of men, like and yet unlike the children of men. Then for a dwelling place, far beneath the earth crust, blasted great spaces they, by their power, spaces apart from the children of men, surrounded them by forces and power, shielded from harm, they the halls of the dead. Side by side then, placed they other spaces, filled them with life and with light from above. Builded they then the halls of Amenti, that they might dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. 32 were there of the children, sons of light, who had...
That realistically you were only showing a page along. So I think what you felt was Capricorn, welcome to your intimate tarot reading. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. For those of you who are new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read intimate tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. In the general sense, I understand, and hopefully you do too, that sexual energy is very much a part of who we are as individual human beings, and thus it has a role to play in our life. I do like to examine different energies from different points of view because it all lends to who we are as people. Basically, the principle of the more you know. There you go. The more you know. We're going to start by pulling you a general overview card. I have to put that out there. I do. Because I know, honey, what's going to happen as I was telling Taurus. I'm going to scroll through the comments, and it's going to be one person. There's more to relationships and sexual. And I'm like, Christina, yeah. Hence why we're here. That's why we're here. So let's talk about it. Show me what I need to see, please, for that Capricorn sexual energy. Show me what I need to see, please, for that Capricorn sexual energy. We're going to take a look at the immediate energy. Follow up with the next couple of months. Show me that Capricorn sexual energy, please. Show me that Capricorn. Okay. Oh, conquest. Oh, my. Oh, my. Conquest. Ooh. Oh, no. Ooh. Who's looking to conquest who? Oh, my. Also, the first might be important. Of what month, I could not say. Oh, somebody's looking to make a conquest. Oh, my, yes. Somebody's pursuing somebody. Ooh. Well, now. Let's get in there. Let's talk about it. I don't know if that's you going out. Your energy wants to conquest somebody, or somebody wants to conquest you. I don't know. Let's take a look. Show me what I need to see, please, for Capricorn. Show me what I need to see, please, for Capricorn. What's going on? Oh, yes, let's get out the popcorn for this one. What's going on, please, for Capricorn? Show me what I need to see, please, for Capricorn. Show me what I need to see, please, for Capricorn. Show me what's going on. Once more, we are using the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck. Love it so much, I reordered it. What's going on, please? Show me that Capricorn sexual energy. Show me that Capricorn sexual energy. What's going on? Take it resonates, leave it does not. Reverse energies as it applies, always. Cross watchers, same. Okay, recent past, Two of Cups. Loving it, Hierophant. Hierophant, beautiful. There's beautiful spiritual sexual energy. So long as I don't see him in opposition. What is an opposite? Okay. Five of Pentacles is crossing you. You feel separated from your spiritual sexual energy. Perhaps it is the person who is attached to you. I don't know. Let's take a look. Sun. The Lovers. Boom. Oh my. Ooh. Wow. Your person's got some stellar energy, both as a person, sexually, spiritually. This is interesting. You're showing me spiritual sexual energy too, but that you also feel broken from it. That makes several months. The High Priestess, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands. There's tension here, a lot of sexual tension, and you know it. You feel it. You know it and you feel it. There's a lot of sexual tension here. You feel it. You know it. You can see it. Strengths. Three of Pentacles. You're willing to be friends. To construct. Ace of Pentacles is the obstacle, being able to offer more. Okay. In the immediate future, the Fool, hopefully we're opening up. Ace of Pentacles and obstacles is kind of concerning in that we'd like to offer or express more of the real thing, express ourselves more sexually to someone in a large way, in a substantial way, not an insubstantial way. You're telling me you consider it a strength to be a friend with somebody. Okay. But the obstacle being, can I offer more realistically? Okay. In a large way. My sexual energy means a lot to me. And then I see you, the Fool, I'd like to open up more. Whether or not you will, I could not say. Tarot doesn't dictate action, you do. I have someone surrounding you that is covered in magnificent, glorious energy. It's warm, it's resplendent, it's highly spiritually tied. You're showing me spiritual sexual energy as well through the Hierophant, okay? But you also feel that you are broken from it. Oh, gosh, wow. Ooh. Sexual energy is a little thick. Ooh. And there's other things at play here on a much higher plane of existence. A strong bond. Ooh. Okay, let's do it. Let's jump into it. Oh my. Show me that Two of Cups, please. Show me that Two of Cups. Recent past, how recent that is up to you. It could be long ago, far away. It could be immediate and upfront. Show me. Show me that Two of Cups. I have love here. Hopefully it's an equal distribution of love. Show me that Two of Cups, please. Show me that Two of Cups. Show me that Two of Cups. Show me that Two of Cups. Ooh. I'm gonna clarify that shit out of that one. That's I'm gonna tell you that right now. The Sun and the Lover is, oh my, that's strong. Very warm. Page of Wands, Five of Cups, we had a missed opportunity in love, which is ironic because it's coming from the Queen of Cups. I feel like that too. I do. I really feel like that too. You love somebody, or you did, or you still do, and it still hurts you. It's an echo in your heart of regrets, missed cups, that kind of thing. So with the Five of Cups, we see shadows and emotional imprints of the past. There is a love that still haunts you, simply put, and it was real. And perhaps you even felt it too, received. With the Two Cups, it's meant to be shared. Equal. And yet we regret this one. We mourn this one. There's a missed opportunity in love. You had no less heart for it. You had a full heart for this Queen of Cups, very much so, in your kind of softer space. You had love for this. I'm assuming your sexual energy is in there as well, with that level of emotionality, but obviously Page of Wands, your sexual interest was kept to a minimum for it. Rather, you weren't able to express yourself towards it the way you wanted because there's so much love in there. It's hard for me to believe that realistically you were only showing a page of Wands. So I think what you felt was probably much bigger, but in terms of the execution, it wasn't allowed to express itself. It wasn't allowed to take shape or reveal its total interest, I believe. That she had full heart for somebody. You don't deny it. You know, the Queen of Cups, she, it's like, this is what I feel. This is who I am. And I mourn these cups. They're a missed opportunity. I can't have them. They spilt out. How far back into the past that goes, I do not know. But I know that it still feels present day with you. Okay. Whether or not it's the same person, I do not know. It could be a brand new energy. I don't know. But it's bright. It's fluent in terms of what energetically it would like to do with you. But it would like to conquest the hell out of you. I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not conquest. Let's see what direction that's coming from. By all rights, given this person's energy, it feels like it's towards you. Show me that Hierophant, please. Your spiritual energy, your sexual energy, your sense of higher self. Okay. Show me. Show me that Hierophant, please. Show me that Hierophant. Show me that Hierophant. Some of you could be connecting to Taurus, Gemini. Those are the prominent players. You might have those placements strongly in your chart as well. Show me the Hierophant, please. Show me the Hierophant. Show me the Hierophant, please. Capricorn's current sexual energy, please. Hierophant twice. Let me know if you're connecting again to Taurus. King of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. Your sense of higher self has a certain determination and a sharpness of mind to treat this connection with the utmost respect for its spiritual existence in your life. I see you determined to work through it with the Eight of Pentacles. Sexually, no. That's broken. We separated from that. We do not have, I believe, sexual energy with this person. Your higher self won't allow it. Big permissions guy, the Hierophant is. I can tell that your sexuality as well as your spirituality are very important to you. And you have a determination as that King of Swords to actively participate with this person in the 3D world in terms of construction, productivity, but sex is off the table. You seem to be operating from a very high set of principles and standards. Now, I do not know if it's in reaction to this because of heartbreak, or it's because you have emotionally broken ties with this person, and we're spiritually, I feel like it's the right thing to do for you and I to construct something. I need to see this Five of Pentacles. Show me that Five of Pentacles, please. It's a non-operating sexual energy, as far as I can tell. But you're telling me I have to operate from a higher principle. Okay. I love this person very much. But it's kind of like Meatloaf's, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Show me that Five of Pentacles. Temperance, healing, Tower, Ace of Swords. You recently revealed the truth, or truth was recently revealed unto you, something that was very important to you, and it has led to the road of healing. Again, you seem to be operating at your highest frequency when it comes to this connection. And it's like, I have a great deal of respect for this connection. I do believe you loved it sincerely, and I still think that you do. But what's not on the table is your sexual energy. Okay? We have separated from that. But you have recently come to terms with some very hard truths within you, and you're showing me the revelation of them, and you accept them as fact with Temperance, Ace of Swords, and the Tower. It looks like you evoked a tower. I don't think it was brought upon you. I think you did it from you. I am convinced that you are, or have. Your frequency here is very high when it comes to this connection. You're showing me respect. You are showing me I'm spiritually connected to you, and I understand this. And I can construct with you in some way, realistically, with the Eight of Pentacles. I'm willing to heal and show temperance, and I'm discovering some deep inner truths within myself, and I'm putting them outwards. I'm operating by these truths. I'm operating by these principles. I must. Okay? It is very strong. It is very high. And at this time, it's looking very non-negotiable. This kind of surpasses boundaries. You're talking to me about spiritual planes of existence, what's acceptable to you and what is not acceptable to you. And you're saying at the first and foremost, I give this connection, whatever it is to me, the best of my respect and the best of my truths and the best of my intentions. But what it cannot have, or cannot put forward, is my sexual energy. Okay? You're not being an asshole. You should know me well enough that I would tell you if I thought you were. So you're not being an asshole. It's a very firm, I have kind of decided upon this. You're showing this a lot of goodwill, faith, patience, and truths. A lot of truths, man. And you popped some kind of tower. And I think it happened within you first, and now it's coming outward. So whatever that truth is to you that you revealed unto yourself first, and then I believe you put it out there second, you were backing it up. Okay? I intend to approach this connection just so. I have faith in that. You're showing me a lot of faith. I have faith in myself, and I have faith in my beliefs, and I have faith in my principles. And you were making this a very clear point to me, but you had a very strong truth. I insist upon that. So do you. And that truth seems to be a very core belief to how you are now approaching this honesty, full honesty. Full honesty to the point that it might hurt. But it was something that you needed to do. And it speaks to your higher self. This is something you had to do. And it was a forceful truth, but it was the kind that healed you. Okay, and those are the best truths, the ones that heal us. We acknowledge them first, and then we release them unto the world. And you're telling me it's not just a spiritual truth. I'm backing it up with the Eight of Pentacles, King of Swords. I have made up my mind about this. I can give this constructive efforts, realistic constructive efforts. I want to. But it has to come from the best possible place within me. You put a lot of judgment on yourself, I believe, even though I'm not seeing judgment with the Hierophant twice. It's kind of like my sexual energy here is not what's important. What's important to me is how I move forward from my own beliefs and principles, and you're executing them very strongly, very strongly. What's behind it is love, pure love. You do have pure love for somebody. Even if there's pain behind it, it still coaxed from you pure love. Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Okay. So while the sexual execution was small, you weren't able to express much or do much, you had big feelings for this person. Real, viable, and you know this. You know this. They were real, they were legitimate, and you sincerely felt them. Okay? And so how this is playing into this, I'd like to bridge that, but I have an idea. Okay? I have an idea. I have an idea. Let's keep on. Oh, let's jump on over to the Sun and the Lovers. Oh boy. Be they this or someone new, I don't know. I'm almost afraid to look. That energy is so it's so potent. It's so powerful. Oh my goodness, someone has some explosive sexual energy towards, and it surpasses that. Just like your energy surpasses clearly by miles. Sexual interest, it goes into a plane of spiritual existence. That's how seriously you're taking this, which I respect. I understand this. They're showing me also spiritual energy too with the Lovers. Oh, you bet your boots. You bet your boots. That's a spiritual connection. It's what we as humans do with it. That's what counts. You know, the Lovers is subject to as much fuck ups as triumphs. And that's what I wish people would understand about the Lovers. It's complicated. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to make us crazy. So it challenges us to change. Okay? And it needs to challenge us appropriately and healthily to motivate us to change. Okay? Let's see. Let's see what this person's packing. Show me that Sun, please. Show me the Sun. 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 Six of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Fear of Rejection, Queen of Pentacles. This person has pain in their heart too. They're saying they want to figure it out with you. They would be very happy to do so. There's something about your energy that puts them into a relaxed state with the Queen of Pentacles. So you could be very well dealing with Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And if that's the case, you need to really figure out who is who, because that Pentacle energy is freaking diverse. And it can still throw me off after all these years. It can still throw me off. I admit that. But this person tells me they have a natural warmth attached to their body, that they are comfortable with their physical needs, their physical pleasures, but they are also loving and caring themselves. And they have a certain warm radiance when it comes to you. And they're kind of saying, I have pain in me too, with the Three of Swords, with Six of Pentacles. As much as I radiate that energy towards you, Capricorn, I also want to approach this from a balanced state. So while you make me feel really good about me, and of course they're sensual, that goes without saying. King and Queen of Pentacles typically are. They may not be the most verbally expressive, but they tend to be more comfortable with their physical actions as opposed to their expressions. You would know. Like, I know that it's hard, but I still feel the Sun with you, and I'd like to balance with you too. So you're showing me Eight of Pentacles, Okay. You're showing me a certain level of functioning towards this person. They're showing you a certain level of function right back to you. Okay. They're kind of like saying, I see that, I respect that. I'm hurt too. But I still feel very warm towards you. And it would make me very happy as the son. Okay. And they don't want to reject their son. So they'd rather have some sort of give and take relationship with you than nothing at all. Okay. Because who wants to deny their son? Their sexual energy towards you is a little different. It's the lovers. Okay. That's a little bit more on the personal side. Show me the lovers, please. They seem to understand that you two have a very unique, complicated relationship. Show me the lovers, please. Show me the lovers, please. They're showing me spiritual energy too. They're saying this is important to them. Show me the lovers, please. Ninth of Wands. Six of Wands. I don't know how to put this. They have a sense of fire towards you that says it feels very right, that it feels like home. They say that they know that you are their equal in the spiritual connection as well as the sexual energy. They say that you two are highly compatible. They know this. The energy behind them is quite strong. It's bold. It's beautiful. It's natural, but it's very strong. It's inherently strong. It's natural, very inherently natural. Okay. You two have a very strong spiritual reaction to each other. You're operating from a place of this is my truth, and I have to operate by that. I have to. It's for my own good. I know that. I accept that. I accept this truth. But this still means a lot to me, so I got to put something into it because I want to. And they're saying, yeah, you mean a lot to me too. And even if it can't be like that, I'd like something, you know. They feel a pull towards you that is strong, very strong. That's all fire, honey. And it's all positive fire. It's healthy fire. It is. Healthy sexual energy that you would have for a strong bond. Is natural, normal, healthy sexual energy that you would have to anyone you feel that strongly tied to. And it is. They feel it. Your energy is being very formal, but it's coming from this place of higher. This is how it must be. There's a conquest, I believe, in this person. I don't think they're going to try to seduce you. Well, maybe they could do with that kind of energy. Fuck. Oh. But I'm saying it more as the possessive type, not unhealthy possessive. I would tell you, I mean, the conquest in this is mine. I want this and I want to claim this. April 1st might be important. I don't know why. That was random. Whew. I'm half in love with that person. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, just the way it rolls off me, honey. It's just, ooh, watch out now. Oh, wow. I'm not gonna lie. That's attractive. That's alarming. I would dare say that's alarmingly attractive, Capricorn. Jesus. And here you are being this. This is what's best. I know this. I know this. I know this. And you do. You actually have a very strong truth in you, and you came to terms with it. You reconciled the hell out of it. And it took bravery on your part. It took a lot of bravery on your part to do some deep inner shit. Ace of Swords, the Tower, Temperance. That's not casual. What your truth was such that allowed you to operate from a higher frequency once you understood it. That's how strong it was. You pulled double Hierophant on me, man. I mean, it's admirable. You're saying this is my principles and I have to abide by that. But I also want this in my life because it's important to me in a way that maybe I can't quite fully describe, but I know that it needs to be in my life. It serves a purpose. And you didn't show me any low-level friend shit. You're like, no, this connection is important to me. It's just one thing. It can't be like that. You do perceive your sexual energy very much as part of your higher self. I don't dispute that, neither do you. You also see your sexual energy as being healing. I agree 100%. If you are not having any kind of sexual energy that you don't personally feel that you can sink yourself into, makes you feel restored, makes you feel healed, makes you feel as a complete human being, then what's the fucking point? Okay? I completely agree with you. Scorpio typically would. And it's in fact, you actually might have some Scorpio in your chart. But you're like, it's just not for this one. You keep telling me I got to operate from a higher plane. I got to operate from a higher plane. So that tells me it's important to you. This person says, I'm hurt too. I have a background in pain just like you do. But I also acknowledge that my connection with you, it might be a 6 of Pentacles. You're showing me 8 of Pentacles, not too far apart. It might be a 6 of Pentacles, but I'll take that. I'll take that. But the energy behind the function, you understand? The energy behind their function. Whew. That's a lot. You might perceive this person as a player, maybe. I don't default to that. And I'll tell you why. I've actually been doing this for a long time. So I'm not going to be like, oh, they're just a player. Shut up. I'm so sick of that crap. This is very healthy sexual energy. This is the kind of healthy sexual energy you want in a partner. And here's the thing. It's important to them too. They're showing me 4 of Wands. They show me that their sexual energy is exclusive to a relationship function. That's why I'm not dismissing it as just to hear today, gone tomorrow. It does not feel like that at all. It does not feel like that at all. It's, and I see sexual energy tied to 4 of Wands all the time. Yeah, why would you accept anything less? If you're going to have a relationship, honey, you better be fucking not. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of settling? Am I right? No. So this person, they take their sexual energy to a place of exclusivity. I know that. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. It's just, baby, when it burns hot for this person, it burns hot. What are you going to do? It's a highly sexual being. I can tell that they're sensual already with that Queen of Pentacles, but when it comes to you and you, their energy towards you, whoo. It's like, I'm all about that Capricorn. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, this person's sexual energy is exclusive to relationships. something that they can trust and that they know it's there and it's solid. And it's like, in the absence of that, can we balance with each other? Because that would at least make me happy. Okay. Oh my God. Whew. Lovers, 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, they feel seen. They feel seen with you. They feel so seen with you. Makes them feel good. They feel the bond is so strong sometimes they shake with. They shake with it. But the shake, what is this? They get disoriented. They get disoriented sometimes. That's how strongly they feel it. I know that their sexual energy is important to them. And they feel it so heavily tied to you. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? I mean, I'm just saying. Capricorn, I got it. You worked hard for a truth. You know, like, this is how it must be. I'm operating from a higher plane of existence. I kind of want them to win. I'm sorry. I kind of want them to win, if I'm being honest. Ooh. But you are coming from viable love. And there's a bridge here. I can't see it. But something flipped from, I love this person very much. Deeply. And I also see it as a loss simultaneously. There are parts of me I have to be willing to give up in order to have this connection. In order to have this connection in my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a hard truth, but you came to terms with it. You came to terms with many things, particularly your feelings, and that you would rather heal this situation than completely abandon it, because that's how much it means to you. Okay? Well, you had to emotionally relinquish this. It wasn't without waste. It wasn't, I'm sorry, the opposite of that. It wasn't with waste, but it also was with cost. But it's a cost you're willing to absorb. It seems for the right reasons. They mean a lot to you too, in other words. Your emotional conversion, which I think is what I'm seeing here, is pretty powerful. The High Priestess, intuitively, what is your sexual energy speaking to you? Show me the High Priestess, please. Oh, I gotta breathe on that one. I gotta breathe. God dang. Even I'm like, ooh, oh my. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want them to win. I see both have their reasons. I don't want to dig too far in the past. You would already know. Your sexual energy, intuitively, what is it telling you? The High Priestess, show me. I'm going to see you over the next several months. High Priestess. High Priestess, you're pulling so many doubles on me. Ooh, you are a spiritual being, aren't you? Yes, indeed, the Sun. The Three of Pentacles. Oh, honey. Oh, crap. Yes, you are a highly spiritual being. You pulled, those are each other's spiritual counterparts, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. So, they both have very similar functions. All right? Not once for you, but twice for you. Yeah, yeah. You are highly spiritual Capricorn, yes? Oh boy. You almost made me cry. Intuitively, you feel, and you do not deny this, that your friend makes you feel warm too. You don't deny it. You don't deny it. That's a lot of sexual warmth, and that's the good sexual warmth, right? It's the kind of sexual warmth that we experience. It's like slipping into a warm bath. And everything feels right. Feeling loved and cared for. And feeling the warmth of someone else's energy. You're saying this causes you no conflict. I have priestess, you don't deny it, not once but twice. In other words, you still feel very warm towards this person. The warmth is real for you. You're being very genuine about that. You're being very honest about it. And it's like, I have nothing to hide in this respect. My friend makes me feel warm. And I appreciate their energy for what it is and how it makes me feel. And I know this. So that's why you continue to gravitate towards them. But again, it's a non-sexual relationship, but powerfully felt. Okay? I think that's quite remarkable. And given what they're packing, I still kind of want that person to win. But honey, they're affecting me. This person's affecting me. I'm not. Ooh, but again, and obviously they affected you too. I have every reason to believe you were deeply in love with this person, and you felt that you had to relinquish them emotionally, because what you're not showing me is love for them, and yet it exists. It's just in a higher form of you. Okay? It's just in a much higher form of you now. I'm treating this with the utmost respect because I want to. It's my choice. It's my decision. Because it means something to me. It still does. Even if I can't show it love, even if I can't show it sex, I can still be the best me with this person. So intuitively, you still feel the warmth of their energy in a way that still makes you feel good. But again, friends. Some of that Queen of Wands, please. Let's see if that's you or them.